Hello, it's Eddie here, and I want to join some groups. MENSA, uh, 3D group, somebody that's involved in 3D, because I know more about 3D than anybody on the internet. At the age of 15, I was working in a cinema, the first ever demonstration 3D film in black and white. I also saw the first ever full-length feature film, The House of Wax, using the green and blue glasses. I also saw the first ever 3D movie using polarization. That is to say, one lens polarized vertically and the other lens polarized horizontally. The film was Dial M for Murder by Alfred Hitchcock, and it's been shown on television. And I must be the only one in the country, I think, that sees it in 3D now, because using my 3D system, I can still see it in 3D. Even better, because of high definition. I've put up a lot of videos about this 3D, and I think it's poo-pooed, and people just ignore it. Some people try to tell me ruin your eyesight. I'm nearly 80 now, and I hardly need to wear glasses. I'm using them now actually to cover up my baggy eyes. You won't believe it, I've got 6 pairs of spectacles from the outside clinic, Lloyd's, and not one of them are any good for working a computer. I have to use these dinky little things here that I picked up donkeys years ago for reading. They were 150, which was my eyesight then, and they still work better than anything they've given me for today. I think they're just trying to con us out of the government, out of getting money to pay for glasses when you don't need them. I can't drive using their glasses. Do you know why? It obscures my bloody peripheral vision. If you don't have peripheral vision when you're driving, you're in shit street. Anyway, I've got enough on my mind now. The purpose is to try and get somebody. I'm at nearly 80 and I don't know how to work these geeks. I know more about most of the things that they know. I spent 40 years on computers, starting with the wonderful Commodore 64 kilobytes. When I worked in Plymouth at a little shop in Keam, it was only a little tiny shop. Half of all the people, other places, radio rentals, when they had a big problem, phoned my boss up. Of course, that was the same as phoning me up, because they'd say they got some this, that, and the other, and he'd come to me, and I'd say, "Oh yeah, that's that." He never charged them. That's where he made the big mistake. That's why he didn't make any money. Anyway, about 3D, I've tried to explain this time and time again. But if you want to do the real proof on it, to see that it really does work, I've put a film of Doctor Who that was done by the BBC in 1993 called Doctor Who. And all the doctors were in it up to that date. Everybody that had played the Doctor up to that date, except William Hartnell, who was dead, but they had a picture of him floating around. Now, the method that was that you had a dark lens on one eye, and that delayed the picture to that eye, so that it saw a different picture to what the other eye did, without the lens. It's easy to use. All you need is a pair of sunglasses, and just view it through one lens, and with the other eye open, and you will see that it's 3D. But the big bugbear with that system is it only works when the camera is panning. If you have a look at it, you'll see that If they stop panning, you lose the 3D effect. But my system is totally different, but it's based on a fact, that when the brain doesn't get a clear image from one eye, it uses the other eye to generate that image. Now, when you're watching TV, the brain sees people, and the brain knows that a person is not flat. So consequently, that brain converts it into a 3D image. Now, another thing about 3D is people have got the idea of what 3D is. Now, the 3 dimensions are not what most people think. They are height, width, and depth, not how far out it comes. Nothing can come out further than the edge of the screen, because the brain won't let it, because it knows that that's the edge of the picture. But if you have something like that and poke it out in the middle of the screen, that will come out, or at least appear to come out. There's a demonstration tape on my video that I made in 1993, so nobody can say that I'm trying to fiddle with it. I invented it, and I don't care about people using it. I don't even care about making money out of it. I have everything I need. But it would be very nice to see my name, Eddy Smith of ELSO Films, mentioned on it. That's all I ask. Any information that I put on the web, apart from the silly Elvis video that was a joke, and nobody seems to get it, I must have put up 7 videos saying it's a joke. When I first started 10 years ago, I was trying to figure out how I could get as many views as possible, because I realised that these viewers are all a bunch of idiots. I'm sorry to say that, but they watch stupid bloody films. I even got a friend of mine, because I was a karate expert in the 70s, and a friend of mine, and gave him the camera, and I, in my karate suit, did a karate kick, and it looks like he's knocked over. That went up on Sky Picture Show, the Sky Secret Picture Show. That was back when Sky was on Astra, if you know what that is. That's when Sky dishes made half underweight. Anyway, that's what I'm going on with. I'm trying to get into groups for different things. I've even joined the Labour Party to try and get into a group, because there's plenty of stuff I put on. They're out to defeat the Tories, that's for sure. My dad used to be branch secretary in the 50s of the Union of Farm Workers, National Union of Farm Workers. And guess who did the books? Jolly old me. And I was still at school. I was so bloody good at maths at school, I used to drive the teachers up the wall. A teacher had put the problems on the board, you know, for the class to do. And when she said equals, I gave the answer out. There's a video on there I put on there. No, I'm quite certain, 100% certain, that one person in the country or the world believes it. That in, I think it was 1947, at the Royal Cornwall Show, I was 7-year-old, so I was born in 48, so it might have been 45, 46, I don't know. But I was about 7-year-old, and you know what Cornwall Show was in those days? It was at was it? No, not Barnstable, Weybridge, I think. And I was running around, you know what a kid like that's like, thrashing machines, tractors and all that. And I bumped into the Queen Elizabeth who opened it. And I got grabbed by the security men. I didn't know who it was at the time, only afterwards. But they were going to drag me away like they did with that bloke with the Prime Minister a couple of years back or whatever. And you know what the Princess Elizabeth did. She grabbed hold of him and said, leave him go, you stupid fools. He's an only little junior schoolboy. What does he know about the royal family? And I didn't. But it made an impression on me because later on in life, in the Merchant Navy, I was on a ship that was refueling the royal yacht with the Duke of Edinburgh on board. And in the Falkland Islands, New Year's Eve, 1956, there was a New Year's Eve ball with all our crew there and all the Falkland Island peoples there and the Duke of Edinburgh. And I'd already got myself a girlfriend. And she said to me, I wonder if I could dance with Prince Philip. I said to her, I said, knowing Prince Philip, I said, pretty girl, he'll gab at the sun. And she did, and he did. But nobody will believe that. I just don't care whether you believe it or no. But it's like all my Elvis films on there. I am doing all the singing. In some cases, the backing as well. I do Dwayne Eddy's 40 Miles of Bad Road on there. That is all me except the bloody drum music. And the only reason for the drum music is to keep me in time. Because when I'm playing, I play twice as fast as I should. Anyway, that's all that. But I want any group of of interest, that guitars or anything like that. Incidentally, they're using my website now to promote all these videos. I put my playlists on, and after my stuff was played, it carries on playing other people's stuff. I've never paid for promotion. I've never done anything to promote anything. I don't want anything. The only reason I did this was when I turned 70. I was told I couldn't work anymore. And because I used to rent TVs and repair and all sorts, videos and computers, the lot. But prior to 2007, I did everything offline. I never went online. I suspected something like what's happening today was going to happen, so I kept clear of it. But the only way I could contact the world was by joining YouTube. I also started my own website, elsofilms.co.uk and elsofilms.com. But they've expired now because I never bothered to pay the money to renew them. Because if you clicked on it, in fact, even if you were to put in elsofilms.co.com today or .co.uk, they'll still take you to me at YouTube, Edward Smith YouTube. That's YouTube changed it from Elso Films to Edward Smith. Unfortunately now there's two Edward Smiths on YouTube. So if you type in Google Edward Smith, you'll get Edward Smith, Ed Smith. But the one that's me is the one that says Edward Smith, Elso Films. And if you wonder where that name comes from, I'm Edward Leonard Smith. That's E-L-S and O for organisation. Films. So it's Edward Leonard Smith Organisation Films. And that's what old Amstrad, Alan Michael Sugar, AMS. Only I could call myself Elstress. E-L-S-T-R-A-S. Else trading. But I like the idea of films or movies or videos. But the trouble is, apparently Elso means something in Spanish. Anyway, I know I'm going on a bit. You won't believe this, but everything that I do on the website is just talking, no notes, no nothing. So if you think it's strange that I suddenly switched to another subject, don't take any notice. In the past, computers were easy. I was able to cut the bits up, put them onto the movie maker, and cut them up so that they were in separate bits. You probably notice on my stuff there's titles, screen rolling, and different cuts and different transitions. I used to love doing that sort of thing. No, it's a right pain in the ass. I can't even get a video to play on the computer today. 10 years ago, I'd stick a video in and it would just start playing it. Because I've got a complete home sound stereo surround system with a giant screen and projector. And you'll see some of the camera tricks that I used on my Elvis videos with projecting the screen behind me and getting multiple images going into infinity. But if anybody wants to know anything, ask me, because I know more than most people. I'm just having an argument with my doctor over my condition. He thinks he knows more about it than I do. Now, I've had it for 60 years. It started in 57. It took the doctors 5 years till 1963 to diagnose it. And then they came up with the name of lichen planus. Well, I'll tell you one thing, it's not plain and it's not a lichen. You know what a lichen is, don't you? It's a moss or whatever, fungi. Anyway, I can tell you how to do quiz shows, anything. If it's something I don't know, I will say, sorry, I can't help you. I won't tell you anything, you know, a load of bullshit sort of thing. No, if I don't know, I'll say I don't know, because I can't know. Nobody in the world can know everything. But I'm now going to cut, and I'll be putting up some more videos after this. I want to talk about several things. One thing I'm going to talk about is charity. And it's the most unusual thing. Most people won't think that I'm wrong, but if you stop and think about what I say, at the end of that video, you'll agree with me.